Hi, my name's Robert Bater. I'm the Commercial Finance Business Partner for the Home and Personal Care categories based in our Manchester office. I've been asked to briefly discuss what commercial finance means to me. I guess within this there's two key things that jump out to me that both sound pretty basic in terms of what they are. The first thing that I want to sort of talk about is what we do. I'll talk about that briefly, and then secondly, I think more importantly is how we do it. So in terms of what we do, to me that's about getting the basics right. I think this is key to all areas of finance, and no less so within commercial finance. So this is about getting the right information to the right people at the right time. We also need to have one eye on the processes and controls within finance that we all know and love. We can't get away from that. We're absolutely pivotal in championing that throughout the organisation, as are all our sort of finance colleagues in this area. And in addition to this, I think a good grasp and business understanding, both internally and externally, is a really important thing for us to have. The second part on how we do it is more critical to me. You can break that down into a myriad of parts, but ultimately we need to make sure that we're doing what we say we'll do with the aim of always getting the best possible outcome for the organisation. From a commercial finance point of view, I think for us to truly have a voice in the strategic decisions that we want to have, we need to be very aware of how we're perceived by other organisations and the other parts of the organisation and other functions that we work with. If we get that right, I think we've got a real opportunity to drive the broader agenda of the business and deliver the profitable growth that the business is looking for. There's probably a few main areas that I want to call out in this. To me, the ones that sort of jump out and are important are firstly about making it meaningful. Whatever we do, whatever we're giving in terms of information, analysis, advice, discussions, we want to make it meaningful. Analysis is pretty basic and something we all do, but making it relevant for the person who you're presenting that to is a really important aspect and sometimes the harder part to do. I think a good way of sort of making sure we're doing that is to always ask ourselves, so what? What does that mean? What does it tell me, and why does that matter? Why is it important? So if we can think about that in the context of the people we're actually presenting to or giving the information to, it's a great thing. Secondly, to me, commercial finance is brilliant because you get to see a really wide area of the business. You can touch on loads of different functions. It's almost unique in that respect that you can be talking through supply chain, sales, marketing, digital, procurement, technical. All these aspects are areas that you touch within commercial finance, and being able to connect the dots is something that I think is really important. We get to have these conversations across these groups of people, but understanding how one decision or one thought or impact or change will sort of impact people down the line is something that we should be thinking about all the time. And thirdly, influencing. I think it's absolutely key. Understanding that intelligence and knowledge are pretty useless unless we can use that to influence or change people's opinions. It's something we should all be looking to do. You can't change everyone's mind, but having the courage to try is absolutely essential. It's often a tricky balance between supporting and challenging, and having the ability to do that is something that's key and something that you need to be sort of quite self-aware within that area of how you are perceived and how you're coming across within the influencing side. Undoubtedly there's loads of other areas that you could call out here, but I think if we do these three things and we do them well, it'll go a long way towards us building the right relationships in the organisation, being an integral part of the decision-making process, and having a real impact on business performance. So I think as a commercial finance function, that last point is key. I think our success or failure will always be judged on our ability to have an impact. Thank you.